Hello, I'm Clay Wimberly, and in this video we're going to be discussing our plates, particularly the safety stops, the safety stop feature on our plates, and how they interact with different ball heads, and how some of the features on our quick release clamps allow you to get the most out of the plates and the safety stops. So the first thing I want to discuss is the general geometry of our plates and how they fit into a quick release. The geometry that we use is called the Arca Swiss style. It's a dovetail. You can see it's a 45-degree dovetail. The width of the dovetail is about 1.5 inches, and it fits into a clamp. It's sort of a vise-like clamp, and just slides right in like that. Tighten a knob, or sometimes you tighten a flip lever, and it locks the plate into place. So this plate does not have any safety screws on it, and you can see if you lock it down, it holds it nicely, but if you happen to leave it a little bit loose, the plate could slide out forward or backwards. And you find yourself constantly checking to make sure that the plate's tight enough so it doesn't slide out. So what our plates have are 2 screws, which we call safety stop screws, and they keep the plate from sliding accidentally sliding out of the clamp. They're very simple. It's just a screw that goes into the front of the plate right here, and one in the back. All of our plates come with these either already screwed into place on the plate or in a little bag with the plate so that you can attach it yourself if you want. So it's a simple screw on the front and back of the plate. And now you can see we can no longer slide the plate into the clamp because the safety stop screw will actually hit. So you have to open the clamp up enough so that you top load the plate like that. Okay? And we're going to screw it tight. And now you can see if you happen to have it a little bit loose, the plate can't slide out. You still get a little bit of adjustment forward and backwards, but it can't accidentally slide out. The disadvantage of this system is that you, like I mentioned earlier, you have to top load the plate, which takes a little bit longer. But most people think that it's well worth it to have the security of not worrying if your plate's going to accidentally slide out of the clamp. Now, as you can see, you can still slide the plate forward and backwards a little bit, but as soon as these screws hit the edge of the clamp, they stop. So you have a little bit less forward-backwards adjustment, or side-to-side adjustment, however you want to look at it, than you did before the safety stops were in place. So what we've done is with our clamps, here's an example of one of our clamps. You can see there's a groove that's milled out on either side of the clamp, and the groove extends almost to the center of the clamp, but not quite to the center. And these are relief grooves for the safety stop screws. So I'm going to put the plate in one of our clamps, and you can see now you still have full adjustment forward and backwards, but it still can't slide out of the clamp. Okay? And that is particularly useful if you are using a plate with a gimbal head, such as our Sidekick or the Wimberly head, where you really need to properly balance the lens in order to use the head properly. But there are a couple examples of where these safety stops will not work with other manufacturers' clamps, and I want to go over those here in this video. The first example is if you have an extremely long clamp on your ball head. This is a Giotto ball head with a very long clamp, and as you can see, the clamp is so long that the safety stops don't have enough separation between them to straddle the clamp. So you cannot use the safety stops with a super long clamp like that. In general, even on our smallest plates, the distance between the safety stops it's a little over 2.5 inches, which I think is roughly 65 millimeters. And most clamps are narrower than that, so they will work with our safety stops. But if you happen to have a ball head with a really wide clamp, just know that you might not be able to use the safety stops on that particular clamp. The other type of clamp that does not work with our safety stops is what we refer to as the Arca Swiss double-decker clamp. And the double-decker clamp has a secondary dovetail cutout below the primary dovetail. I don't know if you can see that the profile there very well, but essentially what that does is it creates a long trough in the area where the safety stop screws would normally hit the plate to give you your safety feature so that it doesn't slide out. So if you put one of our clamps with the safety stops in this double-decker clamp and you leave it a little bit loose, you can see the plate can still slide all the way out of the clamp. So if you have a ball head with this Arca Swiss double-decker geometry on your clamp, you're either going to have to switch out and use a different quick release. We sell quick releases that go right on an Arca Swiss ball head. This is the Z1 ball head, so that's one option. Or you can use our plates without the you can use it with the safety stops, but they're not going to provide any safety on this particular clamp. So that's basically our safety stops in action, and highlighting the 2 times that they will not work with other manufacturers' clamps, which is when you have a clamp that's too long or the Arca Swiss double-decker type clamp. That's it.